A watch can become an integral part of your life. You use it, enjoy it, and you'd probably notice if you forgot to put it on one day. However, there's another aspect to owning a watch that some people may overlook, and that is holding it as an investment. As you may know, not all watches appreciate in value over time. There are, however, some well-known watchmakers who offer to produce the best investment watches you can buy right now. The world of timepieces is shaking up. Independent and design-forward brands are breaking through, and the broad perception of what's stylish and appealing is shifting. This reveals that while Rolex is still popular, there is a far more variety of watches now than in previous years. We've put up a list of the top 5 watches that aren't Rolex, but will hold their value. These can actually be found in ADs. To put it another way, you can walk into an AD right now and pay retail for these watches that are gradually moving up in price in the secondary and used markets. When people talk about investment watches, they normally refer to the big 3. Rolex, of course, with watches like the GMT Master and Daytona, and AP with the Royal Oak. Then we have Patek Philippe. If you can purchase these watches at retail price, then you're one lucky person. Depending on the precise model, you can totally make money off your purchase if you get them on the secondary market and hold on to them for a little while. But every rule has its exceptions. Brands such as Corona Tokyo and Ming only produce a limited number of watches. They sell through a limited number of outlets, and if you're fortunate enough to even have one and resell it, you can actually profit from it. But they make a stand against that, making it extremely difficult for you to do so. However, such opportunities do not come along very often. I'll start with one of the finest, if not the best, on this list. Omega No Time to Die. A timepiece created in collaboration with Daniel Craig, James Bond himself. They chose a vintage style. This watch is made of titanium and has a titanium woven bracelet. These have been steadily increasing in price over the last few months. First and foremost, they are a limited production rather than a limited edition. To put it another way, they'll ultimately stop making these watches, and that will be the end of it. There are a lot of them out there, and a handful of them are for sale on eBay and being resold. They have started to sell for retail used, though. What that means is that a previously owned or used watch is now being sold at retail. If you visit an Omega boutique, at the moment, they do not have a waiting list, but the bracelet version is unavailable. As a result, if you really want that bracelet, well, almost no ADs have it. They will, however, sell you the version with a NATO strap first, followed by the bracelet version. The bracelet is sold separately and at a premium price. Simply put, the watch on a NATO strap will set you back $8,100, and the bracelet will cost you at least $1,500. But they are selling out pretty fast, and I predict there will be a waiting list for these watches soon. Once they start having a waiting list, they'll eventually have to stop producing entirely, causing prices to skyrocket. I'm attempting to get my hands on one because I know for a fact they will be quite valuable. It's the greatest Omega Seamaster 300 Professional ever created, in my opinion. This watch has a design that I truly appreciate and respect. It has a retro feel about it. It is composed of titanium. They absolutely did an excellent job here. Another set of watches with prices going through the roof is Vacheron Constantin, particularly the blue dials. They're becoming ridiculously expensive. The price of blue dials has soared to the point where they're nearly as expensive as AP blue dials. They are selling for $60,000 to $80,000, which is insane for a $20,000 price watch. However, the price of the whole watch collection has increased. As of the moment, used versions of these watches are selling for significantly more than retail price. Pretty much like the Rolex syndrome, if you ask me. People are willing to pay above retail prices for these timepieces, and if they're on a waiting list, they may have to wait even longer to get into the actual AD. Sadly, that is the actual reality and what's happening right now. Next in line is a watch from Moser Cie, the Pioneer Center Seconds. A few years back, we saw this brand sell at big discounts, and now they're all selling at or above retail pricing. They are selling at their list price whether they are pre-owned, used, or gray market brand new, and expect that prices will begin going up above the list price. I believe that many people overlook this watch. It retails for roughly $12,000, which is what it's currently being sold for used. So it was probably months ago, perhaps a little longer, or even a year ago. These are being sold somewhere between $9,000 to $10,000. Prices have already started going up and have become quite difficult to obtain. If you try reaching out to their distribution centers, they will tell you that it's out of stock. And if you ever want one, then you'll have to go to the gray market, where there is a waiting list, which is insane. Next up, we have Zenith, another fantastic watch to invest in. Specifically, the El Primero Chronomaster Sport. It's also an incredibly nice looking watch that many people have compared to the Rolex Daytona. It's a 1/10 of a second chronograph, which makes it, in our point of view, better than the Rolex Daytona. It features a ceramic bezel. However, since these are becoming increasingly difficult to find at retail, they're still available in Zenith stores. I'm imagining used and secondary or gray market prices coming up to retail, and they're almost there now. So if you can acquire one from your AD, go ahead and buy one now. Last on our list is a watch that was recently launched, but based on the hype, the Tudor Pelagos FXD is going to be a hit. It is expected to sell out immediately. There is a large number of people interested in getting their hands on this watch. It's the latest Pelagos in the FXD, the Marine Nationale. That fixed bar has a titanium case, a blue watch with a great design. The Pelagos has received a number of upgrades and one downgrade. As a result, it's now a 200-meter dive watch. Most of it, however, has been improved. It's a fantastic watch at a reasonable price of $3,900. And I bet that these will be hard to obtain because there will be a great demand for them at the get-go. After that, the prices would skyrocket. I doubt this will be a full production watch. I strongly believe that this will be a limited edition. Because it's the only direction they can go with this watch, Tudor hasn't said anything though. The truth is that they can't keep making these. It would be completely irrational. So, I presume they'll make this a limited production run until they sell out or halt production, whichever comes first, and that'll be it. If you're on the waiting list and actually get one, that will be the last one, and you'll be able to sell it for far more than you originally spent for it. You should definitely consider purchasing one of these because aside from being a nice looking watch, it is a good investment as well. For whatever reason, prices are surging from across the board thanks to the hype surrounding the three big brands I mentioned earlier: Rolex, AP, and Patek Philippe. They have produced some of the most incredible timepieces with one of the oldest watchmakers in the world. The 5 watches that we've talked about today have appeared to be reasonable contenders. Remember that a good investment is not just any watch. Other than the brand, there are a few more aspects to consider when purchasing your first watch investment. To be honest, there is a lot to think about while looking for the best watch to invest in. But once you've found the right watch for you, you'll have made a wise investment for the future. Which of these watches would you invest in? Please let us know in the comments section below. And if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.